Mark, just give us your first thoughts after the 1-1 draw with Atherton.
I think it was a good point in the end. I think first half, obviously they had a great chance from set pieces, and to be fair, they caused a problem all night with set pieces. We didn't deal with it. I didn't think we were at our fluent best, but to come in 1-0 at half time was good. And then I thought we started the second half reasonably well, and then they had a 20-minute spell where we were hanging on. And then I thought we'd come good at the end and probably could have nicked it, but it would have been, I think, a draw was a fair result.
Such was Atherton's dominance, I guess, in that second half period. Is that perhaps reflected by the fact you had to make a triple sub? That was how much they'd managed to get on top of you.
Well, we knew Jordan didn't have more than an hour in him, so that was always on the cards. But we just thought with some fresh legs, and I think the fresh legs helped a little bit. We got a little bit of control back as the game went on, and thought a couple of better finishes at the end, we might have nicked it.
Did you feel like you got overrun a little bit in the middle? They had a few.
Yeah, they had a good system. They're well coached. They're well thought out. They played like a little bit of a diamond, and at times it caused us problems. But that's because we had no control. The ball was too front to back for our liking. We needed better control of the ball and to keep it better and be braver in middle and deeper thirds to draw them out a little bit. When as a diamond, if you play long, you're playing into their strongness, where they want you to play it. So that's something we must learn. We spoke about it before the game, but it's important that when we play and when teams press us, and to be fair, they pressed as well, we have good energy, we've got to be a little bit better than that and be braver with it.
I know obviously you say it's a competitive league, anyone could beat anyone, but you look at these last two games, are they against teams, or with all due respect to the teams that you face, teams that really you need to be taking 3 points off if you're going to be up that top end of the table?
Not necessarily, no. I don't think that you can look at that. It is a tough league. Any game's a tough game. I think you've got to take each game differently, and I think in the end it could be a good point for us.
Obviously Jordan, I think we're appealing his red card, but in the two, he's not played many minutes, but he's got 2 goals, so that must be, a former striker yourself, you must be pleased with the fact that he's got back into goal scoring form pretty quickly.
He's a big player for us. Everybody knows that. He's when he's on the pitch, he's a threat. He's nicks goals even when he's not at his best, and he's clearly not at his best. He's probably put 2 or 3 training sessions together since April. He's out a long time. Then he played in the playoffs and the final. Then he was out all pre-season, so he hasn't had that. You're talking 6 months without real much football. So we've got to be careful with him, because the last thing we want him is picking up more injuries. So we'll ease him into things.
You made a couple of changes to the starting team tonight. Mikey Howard came in for his first start. Are you still trying to feel your way around what your best 11 might be?
Not really. I think we've got a strong squad. I think we've got a strong 16 players. I think we still need, we're still on the lookout for 1, maybe 2, but it's important that the lads that we just freshen up a little bit. I thought Josh, obviously, again, has been injured most of the pre-season and the end of last year, so to ask him to play so much so often is not conducive for him. So again, we've got to be careful with him, but I think the other lad, I think Mikey was ready to come in. He'd done well pre-season, and thought he's done okay tonight. What
was the mood like in the dressing room after the game? Of course, you got 2 games back to back this weekend, so important to get back on the horse quickly.
A little bit of disappointment, because you want to try and win every home game. Of course you do. I don't think they were a little bit disappointed the way he played, and what we've been preaching to and what we want him to do. I think they were a little bit disappointed in that, but just said to him at the end, look, in the end it's probably a point game, and you've got 8 points from 4 games, so 2 points a game, so we've got to move on, and we've got a tough weekend coming up. 2 games in 3 days is tough. The lads are working.
If you had to take a positive out of this game, Mark, is it that you weren't at your best? You're probably comfortable with the second best side, but you found a way to not lose. Is that the main positive you take from today?
I won't say we were comfortably the second best team. I'd say for 20 minutes they were a better team. They weren't comfortably better than us. That's totally inaccurate, but I think it is a positive that we've got a point, because we could have lost.
Yeah. 2 games in 3 days with a squad of 16 players. How do you deal with that? Obviously the lads are fit. They've got a good base of fitness together, but it's still a tough run of games, isn't it?
Yeah, there's 2 tough teams. Ashton are a really good team, so in that which, so we've always done it. We just focus on the first game and then see how we get on with the first game, and then I'll look at the second game after that.
4 games in, obviously 2 wins, 2 draws. What have you liked, and what have you thought you need to work on at this minute?
I think at times we've defended really well. I think the two centre halves have been, really good. I think we've only conceded 2 goals, both from set pieces. So an open play, we're defending well. I think we just need to be a bit better in the attacking third. Final decision, final pass, final shot. That was apparent Saturday. I think towards the end of the game that was the same as well.